It was a threat the Russian military command did not want to test. On Sunday, the owner of the Wagner mercenary group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, said Russia's defense ministry had promised to give him as much ammunition and weaponry as he needed to continue the battle for Bakhmut. This comes just days after he announced plans to withdraw from the eastern Ukrainian city after months of fighting, saying his men were suffering useless and unjustified losses. Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov said Saturday his fighters were ready to take over positions in Bakhmut from the Wagner group. While the deployment of Kadyrov's forces remains to be determined, the Sheikh Mansour Battalion, a Chechen-led volunteer group, is already fighting in Bakhmut on the side of Ukraine.
A gunman at a shopping mall in the U.S. state of Texas killed 8 people on Saturday before being shot dead by a police officer. At least 7 people are being treated for injuries, including victims reported to be as young as 5 years old. Authorities say the gunman, who has not been publicly identified, acted alone. His motive is still unknown. The incident in Allen, Texas, a suburb 40 kilometers north of Dallas, is the latest of almost 200 shootings in the US this year.
A man being taken into custody by Russian police. They say he's behind a car bombing on Saturday that injured prominent pro-Kremlin novelist Zakhar Prilepin and killed his driver. Investigators say the suspect has admitted acting on behalf of Ukraine. It's the 3rd explosion involving prominent pro-war figures since the start of the conflict. The regional governor says Prilepin, who's suffered fractures, has had surgery and is now under sedation to help his recovery. The author is an ardent supporter of Russia's military campaign in Ukraine. He often speaks out in support of the war on social media. Initially an opposition activist, he later embraced President Vladimir Putin's policies and went on to fight with Moscow's proxy forces in eastern Ukraine's Donbass region before last year's invasion. Russia's foreign ministry has accused Ukraine and Western states backing it, particularly the United States, of the attack. Diplomatic efforts continue in a bid to end fighting between Sudan's army and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. They began talks in Jeddah on Saturday, brokered by Saudi Arabia and the United States, that aim to firm up a shaky ceasefire. At the same time, the Arab League met in Cairo to discuss the ongoing situation. As the fighting enters its 4th week, Sudanese continue to flee the country. At Port Sudan, many people are living in makeshift camps as they hope for transport to safety across the Red Sea.
نشتغل فيها 3 ورادي الفترة الصباحية والفترة المسائية والفترة النهارية. بنقدم فيها كل ما نستطيع تقديمه من عمل لإسعاف ونقل إلى المستشفيات والحالات اللي بتواجهنا طبعا حالات كثيرة جدا.
As talks hoping to end the conflict take place, the battle continues in the Sudanese capital Khartoum. 3 weeks of fierce fighting has seen hundreds killed and thousands wounded, pushing the country to the brink of collapse. A procession of armed forces accompanying King Charles III and Queen Camilla as they travel up the Mall to Buckingham Palace on Saturday following his official coronation. Later, crowds of people streamed up the famous road, but they were not alone in celebrating the event. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen tweeted that the British monarchy is a symbol of stability and continuity.
Und für mich war und ist ganz wichtig, dass jemand ist, der sich für eine enge Zusammenarbeit Großbritanniens mit der Europäischen Union einsetzt und der auch eine ganz eigene, wichtige Agenda hat, den Klimaschutz voranzubringen.
Бажаю королю Чарльзу III довгих років успішного правління, а народу Сполученого Королівства процвітання та спільних із нами перемог.
And in Romania, tourists watch the coronation at a guest house the king owns in Transylvania. He travels to the country every year, visiting the region where his great-great-grandmother was born.